People living in East Palestine, Ohio, are concerned about their health after an explosive train derailment more than a week ago. New video shows the train appeared to be on fire roughly 20 miles before it derailed. Hazardous chemicals were released and residents were told to leave their homes. They've been allowed back. Here's what the state's governor said Tuesday, though.
This train apparently was not considered a high hazardous material train. Therefore, the railroad was not required to notify anyone here in Ohio about what was in the rail cars coming through our state. Frankly, if this is true, and I'm told it's true, this is absurd, and we need to look at this, and Congress needs to take a look at how these things are handled.
The derailment leaked toxic vinyl chloride from the cars. Officials say about 3,500 fish were killed in the surrounding area. In a letter to the railway company last week, the EPA noted that 3 additional dangerous chemicals were on the train cars and are still being released into the air, soil, and surface waters. For more on this, I'm joined by Reid Frazier. He is an energy reporter for the Allegheny Front and Pittsburgh's NPR news station. Reid, what do cleanup efforts look like at the moment?
Well, apparently they're kind of digging out the soil that was where the spill and all the burning happened, and presumably taking those to some sort of hazardous waste facility. The state says that they are aerating the contaminated stream, the one right by where the train cars derailed, and presumably that's to sort of take out the toxins, make it less poisonous, to mix it with oxygen and react the chemical.
As we mentioned, the EPA warned that there are, in fact, toxic chemicals being released into the air, soil, and water. So why are people being told to return home?
Well, the EPA has been doing a lot of air testing in the town, and there's been testing inside people's homes, and they are saying that they are not finding contaminant levels, that they're basically the air looks normal according to the tests, which is probably strange to people who feel like they have been smelling chemical smells for days after the fire, and it probably doesn't set people at ease so much if they are, worried that there's stuff that the EPA is not testing that could be harmful to them.
Yes, and that number of fish that died feels like the news headline at the beginning of the horror movie. So how are people responding, and particularly in this age of social media where, that fact alone, but then, things get kind of whipped up in social media. How are people responding?
Yeah, there's a big sort of meme going around that nobody's covering this, the government's kind of covering it up, and that's probably not true since I'm on CBS News right now. But there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of mistrust that officials who don't live there and don't have to breathe the air and hang around this contaminated site are just telling people everything's fine, it'll be kosher, we're gonna just go back to normal. And a lot of people are just stressed out, probably because they don't, let's face it, they don't have a lot of other options but to return home. And they're worried, what's it gonna do to your health? Not like tomorrow or next week, but what about in 5 or 10 years? Are we all kind of sitting on a Superfund site?
Yeah, exactly. And we've been covering this from the minute it happened. What are local officials doing then? The ones who actually have to live there, and live with the residents and basically take these orders themselves. Are local officials doing anything to help or assist in this case?
There's a number of things. There's one thing that the state officials stress is there's free not COVID testing, free water testing for people with well water. For those, because some of the people, it's pretty close to an area that's pretty rural, and there's not a lot of municipal water in those parts. So anybody with that are able to get their water tested for free. they're encouraging people to drink bottled water, and they're giving out bottled water. So there's not, I mean, it's sort of like there's not that much they can do right now other than kind of drink bottled water and hope for the best.
Okay, Reid Frazier, thank you so much for following this for us, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.